The SH Figuarts My Hero Academia line is a line of figures that I've been wanting to get into for a very long time, honestly. But I never watched the show, so it just didn't make sense for me to. But after watching the show recently, and after the reveal and the eventual pre-order of that All Might figure, I just knew I needed to start my collection, because when that All Might hits my shelf, I need to have figures to go along with it. So I finally decided to pick up one of the My Hero figures, and what better to start with than one of the newer ones. And that, of course, is Himiko Toga. I'm not really sure why I picked this one up over any of the main characters. Like, I could have picked Deku because he just got a re-release, or I could have picked Uraraka because she just came out. But just Himiko Toga has kind of caught my eye. I think it's just the connection I have with the character. She just reminds me a lot of Power from Chainsaw Man, and Power is one of my favorite characters. And them sharing a lot of the similar character traits with the whole like blood thing and the like psychoticness, it just works for me. So anyways, we're gonna get straight into it. And taking a look at the front of the box, you can see all the nice detail and this window showing off everything the figure comes with, which, as you can see, is a pretty stacked amount of accessories for being what this is. You do get a nice shot of Toga on the front and the Bandai quality stickers. The top and bottom of the box show off Toga nicely, while the sides also include more product shots of the figure. And the back is just more pictures of Toga. And taking a look at her little plastic present outside of the box, it really gives you a scale for how many accessories this figure actually comes with. Like, it's filled completely, like there is no extra space in this one. And now it's time to fully take Toga out of her packaging. And looking at her accessories out of the box, you can see it's a pretty gnarly accessory spread. She has a lot of stuff, especially for the price you're paying, which would be $100 American. Toga has 4 swap out faceplates, 7 pairs of swap out hands, 2 of these little like tips for her syringes and a back replacement part, 6 knives, this swap out collar piece for the collar of her hero gear, and 2 swap out upper thighs. Overall, Himiko Toga has a stacked accessory count, and I think you're definitely getting what you're paying for, and you're 100% getting your money's worth. Now, before we take a look at the figure, I'm going to put the knives in her pouches, as that fully completes the look with her hero gear on. And taking a look at Himiko Toga up close, you can see that her likeness is captured near perfectly. And the painting and the sculpting on the figure is absolutely amazing. Like, I can't see a single problem with this. And just looking at it in full 360, it just looks absolutely amazing. I did want to add that my lighting makes the figure look a little bit shiny, but it's only like that because of the way I have my lighting set up. And in other lighting conditions, you don't really see that shine show up in places it's not supposed to. Before we get into the articulation, I am going to show you how to remove all of her hero gear, as doing that will allow us to fully display her articulation to its maximum ability. First, you want to start by removing all these tubes from the top of her little neck piece, and then remove the tubes from the back itself. Then take her head off, so you can take off the neck part, and replace that with the corresponding neck bracket. Then place her head back on, and remove her body at the diaphragm. This allows you to take off the waist equipment by unpegging it from both sides of her waist. Put the diaphragm back together and take off both of her thighs. Remove each thigh from the leg and replace them with the corresponding thigh part that is completely clean. Finally, place both legs onto the figure. And after all that, we have our fully completed regular outfit for Himiko Toga. Getting into articulation, the figure is able to look up that far, look down that far. She has an insane amount of side-to-side head tilt, which is going to allow for really dynamic posing. Her arms are able to go up just a little bit past 90, which is pretty good. And the overall ability to cross over each other is pretty decent using that butterfly joint. And her arms go back about that far. Toga does get a bicep swivel and double jointed elbows that go just about past 90. And her wrists get good all-around rotation, being on a ball joint. Using her diaphragm, she's able to crunch that far forwards and that far backwards, and using her waist she can crunch that far forwards and that far backward. And she's able to get an all-around good tilt with her diaphragm and a full bit of tilt using her diaphragm and her waist. This part of her shirt is just a floating plastic piece, and her skirt is made of a very soft plastic. This allows for really good articulation going forwards in the legs, and she's able to kick back just about that far. She does have a thigh cut and double jointed knees, who gets really good range. Her ankles are separate from her legs so she can get a full rotation in the ankles and really good ankle rocker. The ankles move back that far and up that far, and she has really good toe articulation. One thing I almost forgot to mention is that she does have drop down hips, so that will allow for more articulation going forwards. On the topic of leg articulation, she can do a damn near perfect split. All this articulation comes together very nicely, which allows us to create some very in-character looking poses for the figure. And I gotta say, the aesthetics of this figure really do sell the character for me. Like, everything comes together so perfectly to actually create the look of the figure and of the character so well that it's perfect. I couldn't ask for anything better. Now let's take a look at her accessories. By default, she has this kind of neutral smiling face. Then she has this very, very happy looking wide-eyed expression. Then she has her mask on face, and this is how it looks with the rest of her hero gear. Her next face is a very, very iconic tongue out expression, and my footage for some reason is lost, but here is the last face she has. And because I'm lazy, I just did not feel like recording a video for each separate hand, so I'm just going to show them off when you see all the poses. Before I show off some pictures and videos of poses of the figure, I am going to have to share just the very few issues I do have with it. So really, like, my main only issue with the figure is just this damn little tassel piece. It's great that it can come out and that it can move, but because it comes out way too easily, and it just gets in the way of posing because I'm in the middle of a pose, and it'll just fall out without me even touching it. Another issue I have, because these thighs can come out, they are just, this one on mine is a little bit loose, and it does leave a little of gappage when I'm trying to use those drop down thighs. My last issue is the knees are a bit weak, as you can see. The figure doesn't really hold itself up. They articulate very well. They're just a little bit weak, and it sucks because the way the character poses, it's kind of hard to really pose her in the way that you want to. And as you can see in the poses, you can really get her to just do whatever you really want her to do. And the way she poses, it just really fits the character, and those bendy wire pieces on that neck accessory really just do add to the figure so much. And of course, to end it off, I had to pose her with power. And so to share my final thoughts, this figure is honestly perfect. I couldn't have asked for anything more from it. I think it poses amazing. I think it looks amazing. It's gonna look great on my shelf, and it honestly, for me, could be contender for figure of the year. I still have yet to get Toji, and I haven't got that new Spider-Man or Cyclops, so I'm gonna have to wait and see once I get those. Or All Might's gonna obviously take the spot. I'm predicting that's gonna be the obvious outcome here, but we're gonna have to see how it goes. Anyways, if y'all enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one.